Picture two collectors in Toronto. Same week, both order trading cards from Japan. One package arrives with a small form attached. Please pay, about $35. The other goes straight to the doorstep. Nothing extra, because it held a single budget card worth less than 20 Canadian dollars. Here's the conclusion up front. In Canada, the second package is the exception. The first is normal. Order cards from Japan, and there will usually be a bill. We run a trading card shop in Japan, and we ship to Canada. Today, from a store's point of view, here's how the system works. Honestly, as of August 2026. By the end, you'll know why the bill comes, what's on it, and how to estimate it before you click buy. Why is a bill the normal case? One look at the line explains it. When a package enters Canada by mail, and its customs value, the value for duty, in everyday terms, the declared price of the goods is 20 Canadian dollars or less. No duty and no tax are charged. $20. Yes, that's a low line, and it has stood at that amount since at least 1992. About the only card order that fits under it is a single budget card. A deck, a small bundle, that crosses the line. So in Canada, you don't plan around staying duty-free. Tax is part of the price. What matters is reading the amount in advance. That's the premise for the rest of this video. Now, maybe you've heard it's tax-free up to $150. Half true. That relief only covers packages entering from the United States or Mexico by courier, by private carrier. And even there, tax still applies above $40. From Japan, by mail or by courier, none of it applies. The line is $20. And once an order crosses the line, tax applies to the whole value, not just the part above it. So what's actually on the bill? Start with Canada's good news. In the customs tariff, trading cards sit in the games chapter, and whether they're read as playing cards or as other games, the rate column says the same word: free. Zero customs duty for a normal card order. The final call is customs, but either reading lands on free. What does get charged is your province's sales tax. The federal tax, GST, is 5%. Ontario and several other provinces merge it with the provincial part into one tax, HST, 13 to 15%. British Columbia and a few others add their provincial sales tax at import. Quebec adds its own. Alberta and the territories, just the federal 5%. The value it's taxed on is settled by Customs, the Canada Border Services Agency, the CBSA, normally from the declaration and invoice on your package. In other words, the tax you already pay at any checkout, applied at the border. One more piece. From here on, we're talking about mail, packages that travel from Japan Post to Canada Post. When a mail item is charged duty or tax, Canada Post adds a handling fee, $9.95, once per item. If nothing is charged, no fee. And fees like this aren't a mail thing. Couriers have their own, typically around 3% of the taxes they advance, with minimums of roughly $10 to $18, sometimes plus a value-based entry fee. Whichever way a package travels, the shape is the same, tax plus a fee. With mail, it's a flat $9.95 you know in advance. Knowing the process makes your package readable. When a shop ships your order, a customs declaration goes on the outside, what's inside and what it's worth. Every piece of international mail is presented to the CBSA. Detailed inspections, the ones where a box is open, are selected on risk indicators. But the assessment itself can happen from the paperwork alone. So above $20, budget for the tax, whether or not your box is ever opened. When a charge applies, a form is attached to the package. It's called an E14, itemizing the tax and the fee. For eligible items, you can pay online in advance with your tracking number, or at delivery, or at the post office. One thing said clearly, mark it as a gift and it's tax-free up to $60. That's wrong. That exemption is for personal gifts between family and friends. Goods a store sells don't qualify. So please don't ask a shop to declare your order as a gift. A false declaration only puts your own package at risk. What slows parcels down is a weak declaration. a vague item name, missing details. Mail to Canada is screened carefully, and Japan Post tells shippers to describe contents specifically in English or French. On shipping itself, in the fall of 2025, a strike at Canada Post paused mail from Japan. Service resumed that November, and the labor agreements were ratified in June 2026. Today, airmail and express mail are running, with delays still officially possible. Express mail is listed at about 6 days right now. Guidelines change, so check when you order. A word on how our own store handles this. We're an overseas shop with no presence in Canada, no Canadian stock, shipping straight from Japan. For this kind of sale, we don't collect Canadian tax at checkout. If a charge applies, you pay on arrival as the importer. Canada's tax agency describes exactly this arrangement in its own guidance. Our side of the deal: declare accurately, describe specifically, so the number on that form is exactly what the rules say it should be. So, the bottom line, on the assumption your order will be charged. 3 parts, that's all. Duty, 0, plus your province's rate, plus for mail, the $9.95 handling fee. Only orders of $20 or less are the exception. Those pay nothing. Say you order about $190 of cards. Ontario, 13% is about $25. With the fee, around $35, a bit under a fifth of the product price. Alberta, 5%, just under $20, about a tenth. The $9.95 is flat, so smaller orders feel it more. Orders just above the line look the most expensive for their size. Lines change, rates change. This is today's picture. The official pages, the Border Agency and Canada Post, are linked below. Check the latest before a big purchase. On this channel, we cover the practical side of buying cards from Japan. Taxes, shipping, telling genuine cards from fakes. Honestly, from a store's point of view. Questions? The comments are open. And tell us which country you'd like covered next. Until then, buy smart and enjoy your cards.